and
Well, I
really
want to call
leverage
our
your gift.
first lady here who's used the internet to get money, and actually she did it for. It's really a tough story, but a brilliant lady who really I think is a real hero in America. I mean, it is, you know, bad things happen in her life,
Right.
and she figures out how to solve a problem with the internet, just like you're
Wow.
talking about. So not only for entrepreneurs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the internet now is making heroes out of people. And she's one of them in my mind.
Wow.
We get her on the phone. She tell her story.
Definitely.
I mean, hi, it's Matthew. How are you, Carrie? Let me plug you on, okay? Okay. Okay, there we are. Okay, can you hear us now, Carrie?
A little bit. You're kind of
Oh,
far away.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better.
Okay, great. Well, Carrie, I just want to. Why don't you put up her thing? It's 31. We're going to show your website here, Carrie, and so you tell us about. I don't know. No, that's the video. The first one, 31. 30. I'm sorry. You're right. You were right. See, old guys like me get my age. Man. Don't trust anything I say. There you are on GiveForward.com. Now, I haven't told anybody about your story, but I mentioned a little bit that we talked before, and I really do. My sincere, heart is out to you as a hero in America. And it's funny, Carrie, because I run every day trying to stay in shape, and I listen to books on tape, not really on tape, but Kindle books, and I'm listening to a book now by accident called Resilience. And Resilience is really two doctors wrote this book, and it shows you what you have to do to get through hard times. And I think of you every time I hear this. And these are two MDs because we apparently don't teach people how to get through hard times. The only place, they're saying they just this big book on the subject. The only place we do this is in special forces training. They're the only place we train people how to handle the toughest things in life. And you, with two kids, your husband, a heart condition, out of work for a few months now, waiting for a heart transplant. That's the only thing that'd save him. And you need money to get by, right?
Yes.
And that's why I just think you're such a hero, and that's why I want to share your story with people. And like one of the things they talk about, I'm going to send you this book, Carrie, tomorrow, too. So when you get a box from Amazon, it's from me. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they identify, like, you have to have realistic optimism. And you and I talked before. And that's what I hear in your voice all the time. You're optimistic when the worst thing is happening in your life, and you could take any of that and say, this is it, and it's dreadful. But somehow you're able, I hear, that piece of optimism in your life, but you're realistic. These optimistic people say, everything is great and all that. That's stupid, because it isn't, But you're a wonderful story. Tell us about what happened and to your husband, and so we understand the story.
Me and Casey met. We were in high school. And my junior year and his senior year, we had the twins. And then we got married. And then it was probably, it was October of that year. So he was 19. He had his first heart attack.
Wow, 19 years old.
Yes.
Wow.
And he's had ablations after ablations trying to fix his heart because they say he has a rare one where it like jumps around. And he has different heart. It wants to like beat against each other. And all together, he's had 34 heart procedures.
34 heart procedures.
Wow.
And he's only like 30 years old, right?
Wow.
He is.
Wow.
Yes.
You both are, right?
Yes.
But he's been more or less working more or less up until this time, right?
He was working until November. That's when he just one day felt really, really bad. So he was at the hospital where he works at, he just decided to go see his heart doctor, nurse, to go see what's going on. And they did a bunch of work and found out that his heart was only working 9%.
9? Like 9? Like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yep.
5, 7, 8, 9. His heart was working only 9%.
Oh, my.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So your life changed overnight then, huh?
Yeah. A normal person's heart works 60%.
Uh-huh.
So he was kind of low. So they tried a bunch of medications, tried a bunch of things, and decided the LVAD was the only thing that would help him right now. So, which is a pump that works for his heart.
Uh-huh.
Pumps the blood through the body
Wow.
for him.
So he had to go for an operation, right, to get this LVAD in it, right? This battery operated thing that keeps him alive, huh?
Yep. It was open heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
He had it December 4th of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's run by batteries, and he gets plugged into a wall at night.
Mm-hmm.
And he got put on the heart transplant list.
Mm-hmm. How long was he able to work once he got the battery operated one?
He's not able to work.
He can't work.
So he had to not quit. He's on disability right now, but
so all you have is disability.
Stopped in November.
Wow. And you have the kids. How are the kids doing with all this?
They seem to be okay. I mean, they've grown up with him having surgeries.
I see.
He's had at least 1 to 2 every year since they were born.
But now, so you're strapped for cash, and there's a lot of this stuff that your insurance company doesn't even pay for, correct?
Yeah, at first they denied him on the heart transplant list.
Wow. I mean,
they said he was too young.
Too young. So you're either.
Yes.
I thought they don't give it to old
Right.
people, right?
Wow.
So you're too young. You're too old.
Right. What are you? Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So he was too young, so then the doctor had to call, and then they finally said, okay, fine, we'll put you on the heart transplant list. And, but there's a lot of the medications that he'll have to take that will not be covered.
So even when he gets the heart plant, you're saying it's $1 million for the transplant, but you have to come up with $100,000, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
God, what a country is this?
And that's just the first year.
And that's just the first year. And right now on Give Forward, you're trying to raise about $45,000 to help pay those bills, and I guess just keep this family together, right?
Exactly. We've been paying medical bills our whole life, and we heard the $1 million, and it just scared me to death.
Wow.
I don't know how anyone can pay for that. So we're just trying to do whatever we can to raise as much as we can.
Yeah. So how'd you find Give Forward? Who told you about that?
I saw a fundraiser on a social networking site, and someone else was raising money for their baseball coaches having lung problems. So I checked that out, and it was on Give Forward, and Give Forward was the only one that sounded realistic and would help out better, because I've checked a bunch of other ones as well.
Well, I want to play a little bit of our interview. Eric, why don't you now you could do the one I told you earlier, 31. And we'll run that. I'm going to play this interview because this was interesting what you said about the family when you started going online raising money. Here's that video.
My family's in Arizona right now.
Oh, Arizona. So like his family, your family, you going on the web and doing this, what's the reaction you're getting from them? I mean, anybody embarrassed about you asking for money or anything?
Yeah. We've had some people say that it's very rude of us to ask for money.
Really? No kidding.
And then we've had other people that are like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing you've done. So smart. So you get a mixture of both of them.
I see. Well, that must really hurt. When here you are trying to save your husband's life, and keep the family together, and some idiot out there says, "Well, that's not polite." Wow. How do you put up with that? Do you know of a good
hitman? Just to turn my head.
Oh, that's dreadful. Well, you really find out who your friends are, don't you?
You really do. It's amazing.
Wow. Remember saying that?
I do, yes.
That must, I mean, to me, something like that would hurt so much, that you're up against the wall, the biggest problem in your life, your husband may not make it, and you're, nobody's helping you as a society, so you're taking the bull by the horns to do it yourself, and people are telling you you're impolite. Jesus, how this is not the time to be polite. Yeah.
That's what it kind of weeds out those people that you really don't need in your life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. Well, I'm going to send you that book, Carrie, because I don't know if it'll help or not, but it was fascinating. I think of you every page I'm reading this book about resilience, and I think about what a wonderfully strong person you are, and what hope you give to everyone else when they're going to face a tragedy like this. Your kids, I believe, will learn so much from what you're doing.
I hope.
And this is a wonderful, unfortunate thing that, I mean, I'm just very proud of you, and I just hope more people are like you in America. and if they believe in what you're doing, then they got to get giveforward.com and search for Casey's Heart, because that sucker needs one fast, right? And nobody else is helping you. And you remember when you said you were in the support groups with people in Canada, and they're saying, well, come on up here and you won't have to worry. Jeez, that doesn't piss you off. Boy, that really ticks me off, well, thank you so much for sharing again with the rest of us, Carrie, and
thank you.
I'll be here if you need something, and I'll send you that, and I'll still try to promote your case, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay. Say hello to your kids and Casey. Everybody.
I will. Thank you.
Take care, Carrie.
Okay.
Wow, doesn't that just knock your socks off?
Yeah, it's such a powerful story, and once again, her leveraging that technology to save a life.
Exactly.
Save a life.
That's what I mean. Like,
what would people do before now? Before giveforward.com?
No way.
No way.
We go to the bank.
Right. You can't do. What can you do?
They're not going to do it.
And
the government doesn't have a program. You're too old. You're too young.
It's always a caveat.
Exactly. What the hell are you going to do?
You got neighbors who tell you that, hey, that's rude. What the heck is that about?
And what she's doing, she's doing this herself.
Right.
She's in the middle of this tragedy.
Right. And
no one's helping her, and having to do all this herself is just remarkable. So people, if you see that or whatever, you get help in some way. Because I think she's giving all of us a wonderful education about how to live.